Hey everybody, it's Wendy with an E, and I have a business called Path of the Phoenix. I'm a spiritual empowerment expert, and I specialize in the chakra system and how to align and balance your chakras and your energy to bring about massive transformation in your world. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about how to navigate what is happening in the world based on what your chakras are doing in this current chaos that we're living in. So first of all, let's talk about your chakra system. Chakra system is an energetic system in your body that runs from your tailbone to the top of your head. There are 7, there we go, I know how many 7 is, 7 main chakras. You may or may not have heard of them. Chakras are energy vortexes in the body, and each chakra has attributes and elements and principles and benefits and things like that that all are connected to them. So I just want to take you through a little bit of what your chakra system does and how you can utilize this energy to keep yourself balanced while chaos is swirling around you by understanding just a little bit of how they work. So starting at the base, which is your root chakra, it's found at your tailbone. So it's red, okay? Now, if you think about root chakra, what does that bring to mind? It brings being rooted. It brings being grounded. It's your foundation. It's safety. It's security. It's family, right? Okay. When your root chakra is closed down because things are happening that are upsetting, it brings in fear for your security, feelings of being ungrounded, difficulty letting go, so getting obsessed about something, financial insecurity, right? Primal fears of safety and security are connected to your root chakra. I'm wearing red partially just to keep myself grounded today, okay? The next chakra is between your belly button and your pubic bone. It's called your sacral chakra, and it's orange. And your sacral chakra has to do with passion, creativity, money, sexuality, reproduction, all of those kinds of things. When it's diminished, we get stuck in our emotions. You know, what you resist persists. We might have problems with fertility. We might not feel like having sex. We might find ourselves being a little antisocial and withdrawing from anything that gives us pleasure. Okay? The next one is your solar plexus, which, boom, it's like when you take your fist and you go boom, it usually lands right between your rib cage and the top of your stomach. And it is yellow. And this one's all about your personal power. This is where your ego lives. When we're not in our personal power, it's easy for us to be manipulated. It's easy for us to give our power over to someone else when we are not fully embracing our own personal power. We find that our energy is low, that we have poor self-esteem. We might have poor digestion. We might be sitting in victim mentality. Now, you hear all those things, right? What does that mean? If you have heard that the darkness feeds on the loosh, that everything is an energy harvesting event, okay? This is what they're feeding on. These are your lower 3 chakras. These are the chakras that are your physical chakras. These represent your physical world from here to here, okay? When you hear that they are feeding off your energy, they are feeding off these low, dense, vibrational energies. Because when these are high and balanced, there's nothing for them to feed on. But when you're dropping into fear, when you're dropping into anger, when you're dropping into resistance of what is, when you're getting deeply involved instead of observing, staying detached, That's the energy they're harvesting. So everybody who's all up in arms about what's going on right now, you're all feeding the problem energetically. Okay? Next, we have the heart chakra right here. Okay? Straightforward. The heart is about love. The heart is about compassion and empathy. The heart is the mediator. It is, if you look in the auric system, I knew this from knowing this intuitively. If you saw my collective reading this morning, I talked about intuition. Intuitively, I knew that this was the mediator between these lower three chakras and then our upper three chakras, which are our spiritual chakras. Okay, these are our ones that connect us to the divine. And the heart mediates. And the reason that I know a little bit about this is because I was a practicing massage therapist. I am now retired. And I've done a lot of energy work on a lot of people. And when I find breaks in their energetic system, it's usually either above or below the heart, which then means that the energy, your Kundalini energy, cannot run from the tailbone straight up to the top of your head and back down clearly. When you hit a break, it means you're stuck in your lower chakras or you're stuck in your upper chakras, but you're not getting that full energy flow so that you can be balanced. The heart helps to mediate that. But when we close our heart down and we become bitter, we become antisocial and critical and judgmental, that also blocks the flow, okay? This is why we need to drop into our hearts and listen. Listen to what our heart is telling us. Now, if you've had heartbreak, this is a place that you really should start healing. You start in your root, healing your root, and then you work your way up. But if you haven't started in your root, because you want to start in your root so that you have a good solid foundation in your energetic system. But if you haven't and you need to start somewhere, start by breathing into your heart, okay? And trusting, what it is that you get from your heart. If it's coming out as negative and bitter, that's not actually your heart. That is your hurt, okay? So this is your mediator. The next three chakras, we have the throat chakra. Throat chakra being all about communication and using your voice. You might feel like your voice has been taken from you because of all the things that are going on out in the world. You may feel like you may not be able to speak up or have a fear of speaking up. You may have a difficulty putting things into words, okay? I have worked with so many people who have had a blocked throat chakra, and after I've worked with them, I've said to them, you're going to feel all of a sudden like you're going to need to speak like you have verbal diarrhea. And every single client has gone out, and within a couple of days, it's been like just a torrent of words. So it's really important that we keep this throat chakra clear and we keep speaking our truth, even if our knees are shaking. Next is your third eye chakra. And it is right here. So I always tease people and say, if you had a unibrow, it's where your unibrow would meet. Most people think it's here. It's not. It's right here. It's called your brow chakra for a reason, because it's in the middle of your brow. Right where your 11s are. For those of you that are worried about your wrinkles, right where your 11s are is where your brow chakra is. Your brow chakra is all about your intuition, your inner knowing, your inner wisdom. So again, I spoke about this in my reading this morning. If you are functioning from a closed down third eye chakra, you have difficulty being able to see the future, which I know a lot of us do right now simply because everything is all up in arms, right? Everything is all in chaos. We don't know what's coming next. It's like getting information from 20 fire hoses right now. We could go into denial. We get stuck in one way of thinking and that it's the only right and true way of things being, okay? This is so important to tap into your intuition, your inner knowing, because that is where your truth lies. That is why your heart chakra and your third eye, they kind of work together. Now, every chakra has a pair. The third eye is actually connected to the sacral chakra. The throat is also connected to the sacral chakra, but that's another video. When you listen to your intuition and you drop into your heart, that's how you get the answers that you need. Okay? And last but not least, we have the crown chakra, which is at the top of your head, right here. Okay, so sometimes you may find that it's really sore up here. Mine was really sore, which tells me that it was kind of shut down. But this is your connection to the divine. This is your connection to your higher self and to your higher chakras. This particular chakra leads you into spiritual cynicism and rigid belief systems and apathy, and also into excess in the lower chakras. So if you have disconnected yourself from source, you're going to be living down here. And again, when we go back down here, guess what happens? You're feeding the very thing that you don't want to be feeding. So knowing that your energetic system is what is feeding those that you are in disagreement with, this is a good time to consider getting all of your energy into balance, which is something I can help you with. If you need help with that, reach out to me privately. I do have chakra balancing sessions that are very powerful and will help leave you in a much more peaceful, more balanced state. If you're finding yourself really stuck in negative thinking, in apathy, in fear, uncertainty, it's really important for you to start at the root chakra. I recommend you go on YouTube and find some really grounding meditations. If you don't want to do a meditation, here's what I'm going to recommend. That you sit quietly, sit with your back kind of straight, okay? Breathe in through your nose and pull that breath all the way down to your tailbone. So as you're breathing in, pull it down and let your belly expand. Okay, so you're going to breathe in and pull the energy down all the way to your tailbone. And you can either let it out by your mouth or let it out by your nose. Again. And imagine, if you can't feel it, imagine that your butt area, where your sits bones are, and in between there, in your perineum area, imagine that it's getting heavy, and feel yourself kind of getting more solid in the chair that you're sitting in, or the couch, or wherever you happen to be, okay? Take 5 breaths. And just follow the breath as you're breathing in and then breathing out. And last one. Just taking a few breaths and pulling yourself back into your body. Because what happens is when we're down and we're fussing around in fear and all those things, guess where we go? We go here. We go into the ethers, which are above us. So we're not actually in our body. That's how we become ungrounded. So by taking a few breaths, dropping into your body, you're going to find that you're going to start to feel better, more peaceful. A little oxygen helps with the clarity, helps to calm you down. I'm not asking you to meditate. I'm just asking you to take a few breaths and take control of your energetic system. If you need any advice, if you need any help, please reach out to me. Otherwise, this is Wendy, Path of the Phoenix, and I love you. Mwah!